All right, hi guys, good morning. Thank you very much for being accommodating today. I know we were supposed to have a live Zoom and my schedule got a little goofy, so I appreciate you guys being able to view the recording. This actually works out pretty well. This is a short lecture today and just going over some vocabulary terms, and then that ties into your homework. So I will also show you what your homework is at the end, so we should be okay. If at the end of this, anybody has questions about what we lectured on Tuesday or today, please let me know so we could set up a time to meet virtually, okay? And we can go over everything separately. We will also be doing 2 live Zooms next week, okay? So we'll have plenty of time to go over anything that anyone is confused about. So just keep that in mind. Okay, we're gonna jump right in. And then, like I said, if anybody has any questions after this, please let me know. Okay, so today we're going to be working on vocabulary, so basic program design terms that are going to be associated with everything that we're learning in this portion of the class, moving forward with resistance training, aerobic training, anything along those lines. All right, so first one. Oops. Okay, so principle of specificity, okay? Make sure you guys know all these terms, okay? You're gonna need this for your homework, and you're also, these are gonna be general terms that when you hear, you're gonna need to know what they mean throughout this entire class. So principle of specificity, okay? In order to improve performance of a certain skill, you must practice that skill. Okay, seems like a pretty easy concept, okay? If I am trying to work on my squat, okay, and get the weight higher, I'm going to need to work on my actual squat, okay? If I'm doing that, I wouldn't just decide, hey, I'm gonna go run for 10 miles and think that that's going to make my performance in my squat better. You actually have to train that skill, okay, in order to improve that skill. So if you look at the examples, it says to run faster, you must, or to be able to do pull-ups, you must. Okay, so if we put these two together, if I really wanted to run faster, why would I be training my pull-up? Okay, so this is the principle of specificity. If I really wanted to work on running faster, I would be doing running drills, actual running drills, whether they be working on your speed, your acceleration, those types of things, but then I would also be incorporating the resistance training aspect into it and be working the muscles that are used while I'm actually running, and also be working on things within that plane of motion, okay, and working on things such as lunges, squats, everything that includes that motion while you are running. Okay, so that is a principle of specificity. In order to improve performance of a certain skill, you must actually practice that specific skill. Okay, principle of overload. In order to see results in any area, you must work the body beyond its resting capacity. Okay, so resting capacity means if we're just sitting around, this is what our body is used to. If we want to increase something, we have to challenge our body, okay? Remember we talked about last Thursday, we started at point A and we wanna go all the way to point C maybe? We have to build upon that, okay? And every time you reach a goal, you're going to need to challenge your body a little bit more in order to go even further, okay? So if I'm trying to get good at my cross country meet, so my distance of 3 miles, okay, if I'm running it one day at a pace of 7 minutes a mile, okay, when I practice and I get good at doing that 7 minutes a mile, I'm going to have to incorporate workouts that are causing me to run faster, okay? It's challenging my body. So in order to see results in any area, you must work the body beyond its resting capacity, okay? So principle of progression, okay? After any break, or if you're just starting a fitness program, start low and gradually increase intensity, okay? So intensity is how hard that workout really is. It's how much energy you are putting into that workout. So this can be for resistance training, this can also be for aerobics training, okay? But you have to start small and go to something bigger, low to gradually increasing it. Remember, we talked about last week, if we jump into a workout and we haven't done anything those first 6 weeks, a lot of injuries occur. This is what happens if we don't do the principle of progression properly, okay? If we are doing really well one day and then the other day we just decide to up the intensity like crazy, you're going to either hurt yourself, you're going to overstrain your muscles, and if you continue to do this poorly, okay, it's going to lead to overtraining, which is a whole other thing that we will talk about. So you need to gradually increase that intensity, okay? That is your principle of progression. Okay, so principle of detraining. So basically reversibility, okay? If you decrease your intensity or stop exercising for a week or more, you'll begin to reverse the progress you've made, okay? If you don't use it, you lose it, kind of thing, okay? With training, obviously, it's a lot easier to lose your aerobic capacity as it is your strength. However, losing your aerobic capacity, it's a lot easier to get it back. So losing your strength is a little bit harder, but once you lose it, it's more difficult to get it back. So if you stop training, okay, yes, there are times that you need to take breaks as an athlete or anybody, or any client whatsoever, okay? You need to listen to your body, and you also need to incorporate rest into your workouts. However, you need to do it properly. If you just decide to stop training dead on for 2 weeks, it's going to affect all the work that you've put in. You've put in work to get stronger, your strength will start to diminish. If you've put in work to increase your aerobic capacity, your aerobic capacity will diminish, okay? So that's basically what the principle of detraining means, okay? If you decrease your intensity or you stop for a week or more, you will actually begin to reverse the progress that you've made. You don't use it, you lose it. Okay, so the SAID principle, okay, this is going to be a big one, okay? So the SAID principle, you're gonna look at the acronym, the SAID acronym. So what it means is specific adaptations to imposed demands, okay? For every demand, there's a specific adaptation time, okay? So if I'm training for hypertrophy, remember that muscle growth, as opposed to power, there's going to be a specific adaptation time, There are specific things you need to do for each type of training. There's a specific time you need to do it in and a specific progression you need to do it in, okay? So this is what the SAID principle is, specific adaptations to imposed demands, okay? FIT principle, this is gonna come into play when you are all sitting down to write your workouts, whether they be resistance training workouts, aerobic workouts, power workouts, anything along those lines, you're going to need to know the FIT principle, okay? So again, we have the acronym FIT, okay? So one stands for frequency, one's intensity, one's in time, one's type, okay? So this is all going to go into when you're writing your workouts. So every workout, like I said, is different depending on whether you're training endurance, hypertrophy, strength, power, and same thing goes for aerobic training, whether you're training long distance, whether you're training speed, okay? So frequency of a workout program is going to be the amount of the amount of workouts per week, okay? So that is your frequency. How many workouts are you going to do per week? Is it going to be 2, 3, 4, whatever it may be, how many workouts you're having per week. Intensity is the amount of weight lifted or how hard the workout is going to be. So we talked about that intensity, okay? Are you lifting something at 80% max, which means that's 80% of the maximum amount of weight that you can actually lift. That intensity is much greater than lifting weight that is at 60% of your maximum intensity. Okay, if you're a little confused by that, just let me know, I'll explain it further for you. Okay, so intensity is the amount of weight that you're going to be lifting or how hard your workout actually is. Okay, time is the length of each actual workout. So not the week, it's each actual workout. So if I'm training on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, how long am I training on Monday? How long am I training on Wednesday? How long am I training on Friday? Okay, am I training 30 minutes? Am I training 90 minutes? Okay. So you're going to need to know the time of each workout, the length of each workout, okay? And finally, type. This is the type of exercises you're going to be doing within your workout. So let's just take a resistance training program, for example. Am I going to be doing a full body workout? Am I going to be doing an upper body or a lower body workout, okay? Am I going to be using Bilateral exercises. Okay, so I'm using both sides of my body. Am I going to be using, or am I going to be doing a unilateral exercise? Am I doing a mixture of all of this? Okay, so it's the type of actual exercises that you are going to be doing. Am I squatting? Am I lunging? Am I working on push exercises, so shoulder presses? Am I working on pull exercises, which are lat pull downs, pull-ups, those types of things, okay? So that is what your type is, the actual type of exercise that you will be doing in that workout, okay? So for NASM, okay, they incorporate an E at the end of their FIT principle, okay? So if we go back, so FIT principle, frequency, intensity, time, and type. NASM now adds at the end of it an E for enjoyment, okay? This is a big one. When you are dealing with clients, remember we talked about everybody's motivation is going to be different. You're going to reach every client very differently. You as a trainer are going to need to know how to do that. Some people like super, super hard workouts. Some do not, okay? But if you don't make that workout enjoyable for them or have some form of motivation for them to finish, goals, those types of things, the client is not going to want to complete doing this it's not going to want to keep doing this, okay? So client won't commit if it's complete torture, okay? Think about that. If it's awful and they hate it and it's super hard, why are they going to want to do it? So you have to find a way to reach your client and have the proper progression. Make sure that they have some enjoyment with it, okay? Whether it be music, whether someone else with you, whether you're super encouraging, saying, you got this, 5 more seconds, whatever it may be, you need to make sure that the client is somewhat enjoying it. They're getting something out of this, okay? They're not just going, you're killing them one day, they go home, they're sore, and they're like, oh, I don't want to wake up. I don't want to go do another session, okay? So you have to think about that. You have to think about that enjoyment aspect of it. All right, ACE's FIT principle also has the VP attached to the end of it. So volume and pattern and progression. So for volume, it's reps, sets, time, distance, etc. per exercise. It's a little bit different from the type of exercise or the type of exercise or duration of, the time of exercise, the duration of the workout. We're actually looking now at specific reps, sets, time, distance. Those are the types of things. So if you're doing your workout, we said for 20 minutes, you're working at, 30 minutes, you're working on an endurance workout, you're resting less. That's the original FIT principle, okay? So for this, if we're looking at the volume, we're literally going to break down how many reps are you doing? How many sets are you doing? What is the total distance that you're going? So it has a little bit more information involved in this, okay? So then the P also stands for pattern and progression. So the pattern is the theme or pattern of the workout. So example, 8 exercises, push, pull, superset, 60-second rest, okay? So that's your pattern. So you have 8 full exercises, okay? You're doing a push, pull, superset. So let's take a shoulder press, that's your push. Immediately followed, you're doing pull-ups, okay? That's your pull. And then you have a 60-second rest. Then you go back and do it all over again, okay? So we're actually looking at what exercise you are doing it and what pattern you are doing this exercise in, okay? Progression is the appropriate progression timeline for your client, okay? So example is increase from 2 days to 3 days per week next week, okay? So it's your progression. We did talk about progression a little bit earlier in the lecture, okay? And everybody progresses differently. So now if this client has been doing 2 days a week, okay, and they're getting really good at it, they're starting to like plateau with their results, you're going to want to up it to 3 days a week. So that is the actual progression that you're going to have. So as you sit down and you are writing practice workouts, or you start writing workouts for your clients, you are going to need to have this FIT principle in front of you, and you are going to need to figure every single step out before you even start putting the program together. You need to have every single aspect of this program or the FIT principle in order to have a good program, okay? A few more slides and we are done, guys. Okay, so types of training. We did talk about this a little bit last week. So endurance training, remember it's focus on time, okay? So number of reps. So if we are going to do endurance resistance training, remember we're doing more repetitions, so maybe 15 to 20 repetitions, but our weight is lower. So that is endurance, okay? We're trying to sustain that contraction over a long period of time. As your repetitions go up, your weight is going to go down. Okay, so strength, this focuses on the intensity or the weight. How much weight can we actually lift? Okay, how strong is that person? How much weight can they lift close to their maximum? Things of that nature. So if we're thinking about this, it could be anywhere from 2 to 6 sets, and your intensity or the intensity of the workout could be 75 to 85% of your 1 rep max. Okay, I will explain this further once we actually get into resistance training. Okay, so power workouts, remember, focuses on speed, that tempo. It has that speed component. How quickly can I move this weight? Okay, think about shot putters, long jumpers, anything like that. Anybody swinging a baseball bat, how quickly can I hit this ball to hit it out of the park? Okay, so you have that speed component. Hypertrophy is actual muscle size. You are growing the size of your muscle, okay? So this focuses on the total work done. So the number of sets you've done, the number of exercises you've done. It's the total damage that you do to your muscle so it can repair and grow. So that is hypertrophy, total work done. All right, last slide. Circuit training, okay? This can be done with resistance training or aerobic training. So it's doing 1 set of 8 to 10 exercises with transition rest in between. Okay, so you're gonna go through, say you have 8 resistance training exercises. You're not gonna do all the sets of one exercise, then all the sets of the next one. You're gonna go through and do 1 set, however many repetitions you're doing of every single exercise before you take a rest at the end. That's your circuit. Then you're gonna go through it again. Okay, so every exercise goes one right after another. You may have a tiny bit of rest in between, like 5 to 10 seconds, and then you go do the next exercise. You go through everything once before you do it again. Okay, interval training, it's increasing and decreasing intensity over set intervals. You're going to see this a lot in cardiovascular training, okay? We might sprint for 10 seconds, then we're going to jog for 30. Okay, and then we're going to sprint for 10 seconds. We're going to jog for 30. Okay, so it's increasing and decreasing intensity over a set of intervals. Okay, and the last one we have is cross training, doing different forms of exercise in one workout, cardio and resistance. So if you think about, let's think some kind of boot camp. Okay, we're just going to use a boot camp for example. Maybe this individual is doing sprints. Okay, and then they go to their next exercise and they're doing squats. Okay, so it's 2 different types of exercises in one workout, cross training. Okay, all right, so as you can see, these are pretty straightforward explanations, but if you guys need examples for each of these, please let me know. It'll start to make a little bit more sense as we get into the workouts, and we can take certain workouts and put them in certain places. Okay, let me share my other screen and I will show you where your homework is, okay? All right, so if you guys are on this page, okay, you are going to go to your assignments, okay? And you are doing this vocabulary quiz right here, okay? I have it open somewhere else. Find it. Maybe I don't have it open. All right, we'll open it. Okay, so you're just gonna click. All right, opens. Hold on 1 second. Let me share. Why can I not find it? Hold on a second, guys. All right, here it is. Okay, so, no, where is it? Okay, so sorry, I don't know why that took so long to find. Okay, this is a vocabulary self-quiz you guys are going to do, okay? So it's kind of just like your study guides, okay? So you can just fill it out directly on this Word document. All right, so if we see up here, these are all the program design principles that we talked about. So specificity, overload, progression, detraining. You can find all of those answers in your PowerPoint that we just went over. Okay, and then at the end, we have a couple matching terms, okay? Each letter only goes to one of these terms down here. So don't think that, say, A could go to 3 of them. It just goes to one of these terms. So all we need you guys to do is to look at which one of these definitions goes with which vocab word down here, okay? So this is going to be your homework this weekend, okay? If anybody has any questions over the PowerPoint that I just went over, any questions over your homework, just email me or text me. Don't be afraid to ask me. Even if it's over the weekend and you guys have a question, you can reach out. I might be a little bit slower getting back to you, but I'm happy to help you guys out if you need it, okay? I will also send out an announcement on your EXS 200 page for the upcoming schedule for the week for the Tuesday class and the Thursday class. So make sure you're paying attention to your announcements and your emails. Okay, if anybody has any other questions, let me know. Otherwise, everybody have an awesome and safe Labor Day weekend. I will see you next week.